Hey guys, how are you doing this afternoon? It is your girl Yvonne Michelle here, and this is day 13 of the 21 Days to Gratitude and Abundance Challenge. And we do have a special guest today. Tony Cox is here, but before we bring Tony in, we're going to have a little chat and do what we normally do. I'm going to ask you as you are coming to into the group to share this with your contact. Now, I'm sorry, I've got a little bit of a cold, a bit of a runny nose, should I say, which is normal. It's not corona. Let me just say that anyway, for anybody start getting paranoid over what's going on in the world today. So I'm just going to check in and make sure that everything, that the sound, because we did have some issues with the sound over the last couple of days. So I'm just going to make sure that we have sound in the group. We'll just see where we are. Yes. We are here in the group. And let me just also check that you can hear me, because that is really important, because I was talking for a little while yesterday and you couldn't hear me at all. So we want to just check that. And we also want to share this to some of the other groups. So I know that there'll be a few people watching in the Conversations with Yvonne Michelle group as well. So I'm just going to send out all of these lovely invitations so that other people can see. Now, okay, so we've been doing this challenge now. We're on day 13 and it is going very well. We've got lots and lots of feedback from different people of how they're finding it. Now today we are looking at the law of detachment, abundance and the law of detachment. So we're going to be talking about that. We always have a quote or a mantra that we go by, and today it is, as I let go of the need to arrange my life, the universe or God brings about abundant good to me. Yeah, that's right. So as I let go of the need to arrange my life. So it's about letting go. It's about our behavior. Today's about our behavior. It's about letting go, and all in order to bring abundance and the good things into our lives. So today we will explore how to abandon a desire to get a certain result. Yeah, we're going to explore that. Now, we know that abundance comes in different forms, and as long as you create through desires that benefit the whole world, you can get whatever you want, basically. So symbols of abundance normally is, right, in a roundabout way, to some people, are things like a big house, a big car, elaborate jewellery, just things. But, all these things, they may bring waves of excitement into our lives. They may. And yet these symbols may mean absolutely nothing, right, to us. But the symbols may also mean sacrificing an ocean that for the sake of having, or the sake of looking a certain way. So I'm saying today we live overflowing with an abundance of love, passion, creativity, significance, and these symbols, and these are the symbols themselves which will chase you. So these are the things that in our core, in our deepest, darkest inner souls, these are the things that we want. We want love, we want passion, we want creativity, and we want significance. We want to feel that we're significant. Most of us in our lives, significance is a massive thing that we don't talk about, but it's huge. So we have the 3 questions, and then I'm going to bring in our guest today. The 3 questions is, what symbols of abundance do you dream of? What symbols? What kind of abundance do you dream of? Number 2, how could you improve both your life and the life of others? how could it really improve your life and the life of others? And 3, how else will such abundance positively affect your life? So we're now thinking, and I want you to start thinking. So now I'm going to bring in Tony. Tony is a behavior mentor, I believe. And so I'm telling you how this thing works, how it works. Everything is as it should be. So I'm going to bring Tony in, and we're going to talk to Tony about how his life is abundant and what he reflects on abundance in terms of what he does, and also in what he does in terms of behavior. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in our guest. Good afternoon, Tony.
Good afternoon, Queen.
How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. I'm blessed. Another bright day, a beautiful day. And life is blessed when you have another day of abundance.
Is it bright where you are? It's raining over here.
You know what? The sun always shines where I am, no matter where me there.
You have lyrics today, man. You have lyrics.
Yeah, you got me in my feelings with your little introduction there, because I'm thinking to myself, rah. Okay, abundance. Yeah, there you are. All right.
Yeah.
Because a certain lyrics from Mr. Bob Marley came into my head. It was about he made a famous quote that if success is about numbers, then his success is not real.
Right.
Because that success is not about numbers.
Okay.
I'd have to find the quote, but it's certainly something around, the fact that life is not about material wealth.
It's not. It's not at all. And this is what we've been discovering about this. Now, I know that we have a few people here, so before you get started and we get into the thick of it, I want to say good afternoon to Karen Eastman, Sheena Campbell, Amina. How are you all doing? I know that there are more of you on here. Now, if you see the symbol above my head that says the word StreamYard, and it may be in blue, click that link, and then we will be able to see who you are. I just need to go, because we have a group, Tony. We have a group called the Global Empowerment Movement. It is for women, but I've also put this in the Conversations with Yvonne Michelle group so that the men can also see, because we have another young man coming on tomorrow, Theo Mendelson from Premier Gospel Radio. He's going to be on tomorrow, and I thought it would be fair to include the men, as men keep asking me, can they join the group? And so I think it's only fair to allow them to do that. So if you are here, identify yourself. If you are on YouTube, identify yourself. We do want to know what you're saying. If you're in any groups that I've connected, please do say hello on the comment thread. So coming back to you, Tony, coming back to you. So this is about gratitude, and it is about abundance. So we go through the abundance stuff first, and then we go into the gratitude, and we kind of work out where we are, how we're thinking. And this challenge is for 21 days. It goes up until the 31st of December. And it really is to prepare us, to prepare our souls, to prepare how we're thinking and feeling about ourselves in moving forward. We know that this year has been a challenging year. And so this is really to try to build people and get them prepared for where we're going in 2021. So I know that you are a behavior mentor. And so behavior is a thing, a thing in life.
Absolutely.
And so I wanted to kind of explore that today with you, because today is day 13, and it is about our behavior and how we're looking at the law of detachment and how that affects our behavior in getting what we would really want. So anyway, before I go, I want you to tell our listeners who you are, what you do, and just a little bit about yourself.
Well, the ladies and gentlemen who know me from the After Dark relationship show will probably see me as a bit of a unicorn. I kind of self-titled myself that last night because I'm slightly different to the norm. I'm always have a slightly different viewpoint. I'm a little bit more left off center with my thought processes sometimes. But essentially, I'm a father, I'm an uncle, I'm a brother, I'm a son, I'm an educator, mentor. I'm a bespoke tailor. This garment made by my own fair hand. So anyone looking for suits, men that is, can come and tap me up via Yvonne. I've had a number of titles in my life. I used to work in IT. You know, I've done a lot of things. I was a boxing coach. I was a football coach. I played football. I did boxing. So yeah, you know, I see myself as a very rounded individual. I've been around the world, spent a lot of my time and money educating myself by traveling. Traveling to me, the most important thing that I've ever done in my life, and my extensive travels around the world have allowed me to be very vastly experienced in understanding culture, and subsequently that's what I use as my experience to teach children that, you know, there are things that you can do in life to affect yourself, which are not driven always by money, because I've seen poverty at its highest. So it's literally a case of, you know, reaching out and making people understand that you can do things with your life if you're motivated to do so, that can make your life very abundant.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Tony. We've got some comments coming through. Dion Ibble says, man of many talents. Thank you for being here, Dion. I can see Faye Thomas here. Theo Manderson is here also. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody that's here. Tony, so we're going to deep dive into this now, because we know that abundance comes in many, many forms. As you said, you've seen poverty at its highest, and you've probably seen abundance as well. A good view, had a good view of abundance. Now, we know that as long as you can create the desires of your heart, then you can benefit yourself and you can benefit others. But today we're going to talk about the law of detachment. And the law of detachment doesn't mean detaching from life itself, but it simply means you detach from the outcomes, and that you have like an innate trusting of whatever the source is within to kind of bring about. You do the work, and then you reap the benefit. If you get what I mean, you sow, you reap, and that kind of thing. So I want us to kind of start talking about how we can really detach, and how you may have helped a student, or I know that you do the 100 Black Men of London as well. I know that you're a mentor there. So, you know, just give us kind of some examples of what that might mean, or what it might look like to you, or a young person, or anyone else that's listening, really.
Yeah, so you know, as I said, you know, I've had the experience now. I'm 52 years old. I've had the ability to live the various decades of my life, which I speak to people about the generations of life. You know, when you're 20s, you know, your outlooks on life are different. Your expectations, the practices are different to when you're 30s, to when you're 40s, to when you're 50s, to when you're 60s. So what I found myself doing is putting myself in a position where, if I'm speaking to children in their teens, for instance, I need to almost place myself in their world. But what I do is I do it in such a way that it allows me to bring my experience into their world. So it's very important to catch that link, to get that link. You know, as a tailor, for instance, the whole thing with me being a salesman and talking to people and helping them to design suits and look good, it's about building rapport with a client. And building rapport is basically being friendly, you know, being personable, being that kind of person that somebody feels happy to sit down, have a conversation with. And those skills are transferable in life, anywhere, anytime, you know, any generation. If you're personable, you can reach out to people. I can go to South Africa and people will talk to me because I walk with an air, with an aura, with a personability that makes people like what they see and actually want to engage with me. You know, I can go into the deepest depths of Compton, Los Angeles and be happy to talk amongst the people because you know what? I walk with an aura. So rapport is very important in what I do in my life. You know, it's something that I learned very early because I did get schooled on communication. I did get schooled on self-esteem. You know, very early in my life, I went to a Pan-African Black Saturday school and I learned about knowledge of self, and that allowed me to understand the history of my Black people and understand that where I came from, I can go to again. That history is within me. And I use that in my life to kind of project myself. And it's done me well, you know, because I walk with an air of confidence. And I try to impress on people that when you know yourself and you can love yourself, that you can achieve anything. Because when you walk into the door of a meeting or an interview, people will see that. People will feel you, feel that aura. Like, yeah, you know, I walk in with a big smile. Hi, how you doing? And that smile is like, wow, he's happy today. And you know what? Outside it's gloomy. And I woke up this morning and I stepped on a pin and I hurt my foot and my shoulder's feeling a bit dodgy. But you know what? Brush that aside. Pick your head up. Walk with purpose. I've heard you talk about this before, Yvonne. You know, having purpose.
Absolutely.
You know, if you have that, then that will lead you to so much more abundance. And that's my message to people is literally, you know, you have to have that about yourself.
Thank you so much for that, Tony. And it's very, very true. You have to be personable. You know, you have to be inviting, and it does go a long way. And especially, I think it's a really important aspect to teach our children. So as we moving forward, we've got some questions, but I want to just give a small synopsis of detachment, because we kind of think, because the other day, I'll just be honest, the other day I felt so detached from everything around me, and it was like I felt like I was losing something, but actually in detachment lies wisdom, and it's the wisdom of the uncertainty, because you can't be certain about everything all the time. And sometimes if you just relax into the uncertainty instead of trying to change it, then it produces wisdom. So but what I found in the uncertainty of detaching myself, I found a freedom from the past of being attached to certain things. So I was able to detach, find freedom from the things that I was attached to, and now I'm able to move forward. And so we can connect up the dots as we go along. We can connect up the dots, because sometimes we get so attached to doing things a certain way that we create our own prison. Now I know that there are people here that have been working through the 21 days and are on day 30 with that, and there are some steps that they need to take. But what I do want to do, Tony, is I want to ask you some questions, because we get over since day 10 we've been getting 3 questions a day. They're not hard questions, they're just personable to you. So the questions are, and guys, those of you who are listening, please don't just think that you just have to sit and watch. Please be involved. Put your comments on the comment thread. If you have a question, put the question out there, as long as it's to do with what we're doing. You know, I know that some might see Tony and say, oh, he's a nice looking man. You can talk to him after and chat him up after. Those of you who know we do the After Dark show, come on, Tony, you know I'm going to do something. You know I've got to do something today, yeah. We do the After Dark show, which is around relationships, which started because there was lots of single people through lockdown, and it's gone from strength to strength. And Tony is one of our panel members. So if you see him and you like him, You can say. you can. So I want to welcome Sandy Mack here. Good afternoon, Sandra. How you doing? Good to see you here. So the question I have for you is, right, so in thinking about abundance and what it is and what it means to us all, it can mean different things to us individually. Um, there was a quote that says, live overflowing with an abundance of love, passion, creativity, and significance. And then these symbols themselves will chase you, right? So love, passion, creativity, significance, all in our behaviors of what we do. There are symbols that we have in our mind. So my first question to you is, what symbols of abundance do you dream of? What is that thing of abundance? What is that symbol that you dream of? That is the first one. First question.
That's a difficult question.
All right. Do you know what? I'll give you a couple of seconds.
Can you give me yours, and then that might help me think of mine.
Right. So my symbol of abundance is peace. That's and it's very like, it's not the sign of a Buddha, but it's more the sign of me just being in a place of stillness where nothing can infiltrate my mind. Because you know that the mind, we struggle with the mind sometimes, and we have all these downloads of things. Sometimes it's really negative, but when you're in a place of peace, for me, that is a place of abundance. Because if I'm a peaceful state, then I can do anything. So for me, it's peace. So I'm going to give you a couple more seconds. I'm going to read comments, and then I'm going to come back. Yeah,
I got it.
Guys, what I want you to know is there's been no preempt. I don't preempt my guests. I don't tell them what the day's about. I just invite them on a day. So everything that you get here is authentic. It is not pre-planned. They don't have a chance to think about it or kind of write some bits and pieces of research. This is all organic stuff. So Karen Eastman said, I thought to myself, what would be my symbol of abundance? If anything, it would be a happy, warm, welcoming home. And then I thought to myself, why do I want that? Pretty much I need it. And the reason for that is because I want to be able to forge and maintain amazing relationships with people. And I want to be, well, I am kind of that to a certain extent. This is Karen talking. I want to be even more attainable, supportive, etc. Healthy, fulfilling relationships with mankind. That's my symbol of abundance. Thank you for that, Karen. You always give such good content when you come on. I want to welcome those who are just coming on board. This is day 13 of the 21 Day to Gratitude and Abundance Challenge. So, Tony, what symbol of abundance do you dream of?
So I think Karen actually, I knew there was a reason I like Karen. And there she just put it in very succinct words. I'm basically very similar to Karen. I strive for love. I strive for people to love me and for me to love people. You know, the world is full of hatred, but actually the world is much more full of love. Yeah, we complain about our conditions, and we complain about, you know, this, that, and the other, the Brexit and the election and the this and the that. But really and truly, the world is full of love, more by a significant amount than it is hatred. Hatred is a small amount of what is contained in this world. Yeah. Take yourself out of your small area, run around the country. Yeah. Go to another country and you will experience love. You will experience people but just being friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interact with people. You will see more often than not, you will get a good experience if you are of that ilk. Yeah. Yeah. And that's for me. I'm personally happy to know that I've been loved, that I am loved by people you know, being a symbol in society where people can say that guy, he was always willing to give something. You know, people who know me will know. You know, you can ask me for anything, and if I've got it, I'll give it. You know, I
Did you hear
can't
that?
see a beggar in the street, and I can't sit down, spend a couple of minutes, just spend some time. You know what? Sometimes I don't have a penny in my pocket, but you know what? I'll give you a smile, give you a little chat, give you a joke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that alone sometimes is what a person just needs.
Yeah, that's very,
You
very,
know, and
very true.
so for me, if I could spread that love,
Mm-hmm.
that to me is the, you know, what is very important for me.
Thank you for that, Tony. I've got actually my shirt says love, and I normally wear a necklace with love. You know, it's a big thing. I want to say, Karen says, she says, you like me? She said it's official and live and recorded. Deal. We have more in common than we have differences. Absolutely. So the second question: how could they improve both your life and others? Well, I think you just kind of covered that in your last what you said there. How could this symbol improve both your life and others? And you've mentioned about, you know, seeing somebody and helping them and changing their day, and really a smile, just a smile, we know,
Yeah.
change
And
somebody.
can I just add to that? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, look, in life, we can walk around and mope, but if we can take ourselves out of that mindset and just think of what we can contribute to life, what we can contribute to society, if we're being positive. You know, we both have a mutual friend who we know was in a dark place and one day took himself out by his own bootstraps and was able to ascend and become a huge figure in society just by having a different mindset, you know, and that alone can make the huge difference in how people perceive you and how you perceive society.
Thanks for that, Tony. You actually, I kind of answered question 3 as well, but I'll read it out as well. That's okay. It's fine. And this is what I love about doing this, because it is so organic. It's just us talking and being so like transparent of who we are. And so when, you know, the questions come, it's like, yeah, it's already done. So the question was, how else will such abundance positively affect, but how will it affect your life more than anyone else's? So how else will such abundance positively affect your life?
So, in terms of how love affects my life, I can honestly say I have been blessed. The creator, whoever, whatever you call him or her, has blessed me abundantly because I feel like my life has been a continuous blessing. I've been blessed with a beautiful family. I've been blessed with beautiful friends. And the love I receive from people, as I said, I've traveled the world extensively, north, south, east, and west, and I constantly receive love. So that has impacted me to the point that I've now experienced life where I've gone, you know what? I've been so blessed that I have to show people that strategy. I have to show people that route, that path, you know, to enlightenment, that path to enrichment.
Okay, thank you. This is so good. This is so good. I'm going to read some comments out. Faye said that's so true. I felt deflated when I couldn't smile on the last night show. Okay, Faye. She felt, because last night it was a little bit different. It was a little bit different. She said she couldn't smile like she normally would. Nevada Cato saying, I totally agree. Faye says, I would give my validation that I have tried to make someone else's life better. And I think that's something that's key in all of us, is to try and make someone else's life better. Now, we have a task Now, the task today was to think about your mum's description from day 11. So if you're just doing this now, you're going to have to do this a little bit differently. Consider your life and your patterns of behavior. Do you see any similarities between you and your mum? Well, so because it was a particular behavior that we were looking at. So I think if you were to look at, if you're just doing this today, I think if you look at your behavior and how you handle things, or how you look at abundance, how you feel about your life, and whether it is in an abundant state or not, and you then start to reflect on a parent, any parent, it could be dad or mum, right? If you were to do that and then ask yourself the question, do you see any similarities in the behavior? And then I want you to ask yourself, what were they, and how were they formed? That's one thing I want you to think about. And I want you to write these reflections in your journal or in your notebook. It's a comparison to see where we are, on how far we have come. Because sometimes I think as human beings, we just plod along and we go along and we go along and we go along, and then we put so much pressure on ourselves, and we don't actually value how far we have come. And sometimes when you take a stop and you reflect of old, because you think the symbol of mum, and I don't like to think of this way because I am mum, but symbol of mum is older, is old. Symbol of mum is old, right? And so when you look at mum, how did mum do it? Old school. And then you see yourself as the new school, right? Because that's how we look. And then how am I doing it? Am I doing it the same, or how am I not? Right? Sandra back saying that's an interesting connection and concept. Yeah. So, yeah, this is because we want to just blow this thing out the water. So I want you to think. So think about consider your life and your patterns of behavior, and then reflect and see if you see any similarities between your mum or your dad, your parent, right? Write down these reflections in your notebook. And then because also you're reflecting on the questions 1, 2, and 3. What were your symbols? How could they improve? And how else could such abundance positively affect your life? Right? So remembering that this was the mantra from the beginning, as I let go of the need to arrange my life, God, the universe, whoever you call it, brings abundant good to me. So the last part of this task, so all of that you have to write down in your journal, write and let the words flow. Whatever comes, let it come. A lot of the time when we're doing these exercises, we want to just stop and start overthinking. Just write what comes to your mind. Right, so I'm going to go through the questions again. What symbols of abundance do you dream of? How could they improve both your life and others? And 3, how else will such abundance positively affect your life? Then your task is to consider your life and your patterns of behavior. Do you see any similarities? What were they? And how did it come up for you, right? How was it formed? And the very last thing I'm going to ask you to do today is I'm going to ask you to think about all that we've spoken about today. And I want you to ask yourself on that basis, what are you grateful for today? So I know Tony's spoken about life before, mentorship, what he's done, tailoring, all of those things, and reflected on being friendly and all of those things. So everything that you've spoken about in this short space of time, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for you right now, because I met you a year ago, or less than a year ago.
You think? No, it's more than that, because you was on my show.
It's a short period of time.
It's more than, yeah.
But we're like best friends now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been through stuff together now, and I don't have to look far to find gratitude. I look ahead of me and I can see bananas and apples and oranges. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful for the fact that I have food on my table.
Come on now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have books of knowledge behind me. I'm grateful that I've had the ability to study and know what I know about myself by reading about myself and my people and life. You know, I have a huge library of music. Music is one of my most precious gifts that I've given to myself. You know, I've done a lot of things for myself in my time, but music is one of my huge passions, and I'm so happy to have. Sorry?
Are you going to play music on the 31st?
I'll come back to that. There might be a slight technical hitch on that one because it's the old analog system.
Right.
Yeah, 2 decks and a mixer.
That's all
but
right.
Yeah,
That's what we deal with the old school, man.
But yeah, you know, I'm so abundantly grateful for so many things that I just don't have to look far to find abundance. You know, we have friends who are messaging us in the chat, and they're friends that I've met through you in the last year, and I'm abundantly grateful for those people because I got so wonderful things through those people. I've got people who send me sorrow. I got people who send me body butter. You know, you know, I'm always abundant for and grateful for those links. You know, and long may that continue. You know, yeah, I always have things that I'm grateful for. I have, you know, for me, little things make huge differences.
Yeah.
I have a yucca plant to my left, right? I bought this yucca plant, and it was my first real sort of exploration into having my own plants in my house. I bought this thing, it was this big. And a year later, I have this huge tree in my house. And I'm like, why have I got this tree that is growing so abundantly in my house? And it's, to me, it can only be one thing. The aura in my house is right. The plant loves where he is. I care for him or her.
Him, exactly.
Yeah? and you know, I've a aloe vera tree, and I've got a cheese plant, and these things in my life, they just grow. And I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful because I hear people say, I can't get a plant to grow in my house. And I'm like, bro, how you can't get a plant to grow and I got these things growing like jungle in my house? You know, so even those little things for me, I can always be grateful for.
Thank you, Tony. I wasn't expecting you to say that, but thank you so much. Karen is saying the same as well. We have a network. We do have a network, and the network is growing. And this network has become like family. It has become a lifeline, a source. I can say for myself, over recent days, I have tapped into this source, and the people within the group have really, and this is where I'm grateful. My gratitude is the people in the group, because yes, I set the group up, but it is the people that make the group, and all of you in the group have really underpinned me, undergirded me over these last couple of days, checked in and to make sure that I'm okay. And yeah, I'm very, very grateful for our After Dark group. And just to say that the doors of that group is going to be open. We are looking for new panel members to add to the group. So if you are interested in becoming a panel member in the After Dark show, please do DM me, and you can DM any one of the panel members, and we will then look into whether or not, because you don't just come in just so. I'm just saying.
It's like a fountain of youth, Yvonne. You know, literally, you just put your hands in the water, and you will get youth. You know, you will get so much love.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely. I can agree with that. We've got some tremendous people. So as I can see you guys here today, we don't normally go long. We normally 20 minutes, but we are here nearly 40 minutes on, and we've got some new people joining us today that have never been here before. So I want to welcome you all here today with this day 13 of the 21 day to gratitude and abundance. And my question to you guys is, what are you grateful for today? Please put it in the comment thread. Please let us know what it is. Just take a moment and just think, what am I actually grateful for today? And really think about that, embrace it, and embody that feeling. Because, you know, sometimes we get so busy that we don't stop and think what we're grateful for. And life is life, and it moves really quickly, and life is short. And it sometimes we just need those moments to just stop and reflect and see what it is that we really have that's in front of us. So, um, Karen says, "Stop it, Tony. You're revealing my plant woes. My house is too hot right now." Lolita Stout is saying, "Oh, I love Tony. Oh, Tony, you're the guy today, right? You just have to understand him. His mum must be so proud of him." Oh, that's so nice. Mum, how are you doing? I'm glad to see you here today. So Sandra says, "Sorry, I have to leave. Thank you for the food for thought. Have a lovely Christmas." Thank you, my darling. Have a lovely Christmas yourself. So, guys, I want to say Lolita Stout is Cheryl's mum. You know, Cheryl,
Yeah.
things that it comes in the group. This is her mum, and so she's sending out love to you as well. So, guys, we've come to the end. Tony, is there any final thoughts that you want to leave with us?
Yeah, I did. I did kind of start with trying to quote Bob Marley, and I
Yeah.
failed, but I'm gonna go back to it because, listen, I I'm gonna say another gratitude. When I was young, growing up, yeah, I was in a household that played roots music, good reggae roots music, and you listen to the lyrics, and there were so many things you could learn from music. It's unfortunate that today we don't seem to get as much of the same positivity from our music. We had people like Isaac Hayes, we had people like Curtis Mayfield, Marvin Gaye, Bob Marley, Dennis Brown. All these people had messages in their music, which I almost use like scripture. But anyway, these are the things, that couple of things that Bob Marley said. Money is numbers and numbers never end. It takes money to be happy. Your search for happiness, if it takes money to be happy, your search for happiness will never end. Yeah. Um, and another one he said was, never expect God to do for you what you don't do to others.
Wow, that one is
Yeah.
that good one. That's a good one.
And I'm looking for the other one that I really love. Uh, let's get it. Possessions make you rich. I don't have that type of riches. My riches is life forever. And when he said that, I almost felt like an aura just came through the TV screen and just jumped on me. And it was like, wow. Sometimes when someone talks,
Mm-hmm.
they just, and Bob Marley is that guy.
You just
Bob
drop. Yeah.
Marley is that guy. He
Yeah.
would talk, and sometimes, I remember that then when he said those words, he was smoking a little spliff, and he just there, and the man was like, "Reach him. Are you rich, Bob?" And Bob's like, "Nah, man. If riches is money, me not rich. Me not deal with them thing there."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, "Whoa, that there is my mantra on life." Don't look
Wonderful.
for riches to be
Money.
this.
It's greater than that. It's far greater than that. This is, I feel like I'm living one of the most abundant times in my life, regardless, irrespective of what's going on outside,
It
because
should be.
I'm
It should
surrounded
be.
by, surrounded by love, surrounded
And
by
and
people.
my theory on that is quite simply, every year of your life you are growing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If at the age of 50 you haven't got the intelligence to be able to be abundantly rich,
Mm-hmm.
you've wasted 40 years of your life, because you should be in constant growth.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, I've got a network of people that I've had in my life that have made me, formed me.
Mm-hmm.
And so by 60, I should be even more wise.
Absolutely.
I look at some martial arts films. I'm a big martial arts fan. And always the greatest martial artist is the oldest man.
Mm-hmm.
He's an old man and he's walking around with a stick and he's got the big long grey beard. And you're like, rah, how's that man the Grand Master? Because
Wisdom.
years of wisdom,
Yeah.
experience have given him an understanding to enlightenment. I think Carl Perkins mentioned earlier some symbols of Buddhism are in there. And funnily enough, if you're still listening, Carl, I was married by Buddhist monks because I also studied Buddhism. I was married in Thailand in a Buddhist temple.
Okay. Didn't know that about you. Learned something new about you today. Okay.
Buddhism is a wonderful thing, very closely linked with Rastafarianism, interestingly.
Yes.
So if you study Rastafari and Buddhism, they're very similar.
It's the peace of the Buddhism that I you know, as I said, peace is a big thing for me, because when you've lived a life and it's just been hectic and reckless, peace is everything. I'm just going to read Amina saying, loving it, positivity and love is a force to be reckoned with. Nevada Katie saying, grateful for new positive friends, a wonderful family, chance to take small breaks to reflect on the blessings I received this year that will spill over into next year. Good to see you here, Nevada. Thank you very much for your comments there. I've got a quote from Bob Marley. I just looked one up and it said, in the abundance of water, a fool is thirsty. So guys, this is water. Don't be thirsty. Come to the well and drinketh thereof.
Yeah.
If you on that note, this is your girl Yvonne Michelle. I want to thank you, Tony Cox, for being here. We will do this again. I really love this. I love this. I really, really do. I'm so glad that I kind of started to just pull people in. But I love the fact that we can have the conversation and really just talk about the things that are close to our hearts. So thank you so much for being here, Tony. I will call on you again. Well, you know I will anyway. So, tomorrow we have Theo Manderson coming in. He's going to be our guest, and we've got guests up until the 31st of December. So do remember to join us 12 o'clock midday for the 21 day abundance and gratitude challenge. Take care for now. Ciao, ciao.
Bye, guys.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can come out of here. See you later. Bye.